From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review.
Stephenson's rocket. What is interaction and why do we desire it? I sit in the bog and ponder questions like this, and my defecatory musings have led me to think that there is a twofold answer. Firstly, it's results the way our DNA propels us through the world. It's the secret to our success. Those who work with the mind will all tell you that human interaction is vital to maintaining mental health. Although we all feel like we want to be alone sometimes, too much of this and we suffer. This is why solitary confinement is a punishment. We're like a classic car. We need to be run out every so often to ensure our engine doesn't seize up. The absinthe-drenched misanthrope composing their verse in their drafty garret alone is awfully romantic, but you'll notice that they all die at 25. Jeff Bezos and Reed Hastings would love you to pursue the solitary life. That way you'll buy more shit. But we need each other. We need interaction to live, and through interaction we can band together and become invincible. This is why it is spoken about so much in games. Games give us a concentrated jolt of interaction. In games, it is distilled. That's the feeling we get after we've played, that warmth, the flashing of eyes and the smile. It's a hefty dose of interaction. It's like drinking half a bottle of scotch rather than a pint of mild. The other reason we love interaction is that it gives us an opportunity to exert control, to get people to go to the pub you want, to convince someone of your argument, to sell someone something. Interaction lets us stretch our mental muscles and test our acumen, and in games it gives us a safe, mostly, consequence-free arena in which to do it. Stephenson's rocket delivers this sort of interaction like a mallet to the head. In Stephenson's rocket, players take on the roles of railway barons hoping to cash in on the transport boom of the early 1800s. Players can extend lines and be rewarded with shares, invest in industries in cities that are about to be linked to the line, and speculate by building stations in the hope that the trains will go through them. I've never played a game before that hinges so much on trying to incentivize people to do what you want. Interaction is at the very core of this game. This is particularly highlighted in the placement of stations. You're trying to encourage your opponents into extending the line through your station, and you offer them incentives to do so. This is the principle of government economics miniaturized and played out on a hexagon-tiled board. You're trying to encourage the behavior you want through the offer of incentives. If an opponent takes a locomotive through one of your stations, they receive a passenger, and the person with the most passengers scores points at the end of the game. You, on the other hand, will score big points if you have the most stations on the line. You're counting on the fact that the instant endorphin hit of getting something will make people go in the direction that you want them to. This is a crystallization of every human interaction, offers made for mutual benefit, and if your side of the interaction is a bit better, well, that's okay. And this bit will grow and grow until someone is on the losing side of the interaction. As an engine for interaction, it's brilliant, and as a comment on the brutality of capitalism, it's unnervingly on point. It's rare that I play a game that from the first few turns leaps into my list of my favourite designs, but this happened with Stephenson's rocket. The more I play Reiner Knizia's games, the more I'm convinced that he's an expert in human motivations. There is so much more than fun in this game. There is an explanation into what we are as animals, and what we will do to get our own way. And because this is a Reiner Knizia game, all of this is done in about an hour. The pacing of the game is also flawless. It goes through the gears more smoothly than any game I've ever played. At the start, your turns are short and they feel inconsequential. You find yourself thinking, how will anything ever happen here? And before you know it, the import of each turn has been turned up to 11 and the game is galloping towards its conclusion. This game goes from calm to breathless, but the transmission has been expertly tooled and diligently oiled, so the transitions through the gears are smooth and natural. The word classic is often just a synonym for old, but it is richly deserved here. This is a game that is the distillation of good gaming. It's full of decisions with impact and interactions that propel the game forward. Interactions are what we want from games, and Stephenson's Rocket delivers them with a clarity and excitement, and it might just be the most fun you've ever had, while simultaneously being evil. Thank you for listening. And you can support this show by going to patreon.com/5G4D.